know you can look me in the eye. It's all because of Jesus, he the reason I'm alive. I live by faith, by grace, you know that I ain't gotta strive. They told me, tone it down.
Yo, what up, guys?
Yo.
My name's Ryan. This is Jared.
And this is the Boat Parade. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing as always. And today we're going to tell you something that you already are aware of, I'm sure, because it's all over the internet. But Rob Gronkowski announced via social media that he would be retiring for the second time.
The Gronk.
Now, the first time that he retired, it was so I don't have to go play for the Detroit Lions, which I get it.
It was.
He said that himself on a talk show. I don't remember whose it was,
bro.
but hilarious. Before yesterday when he announced it, I was pretty confident actually that he was going to come back. That was awesome.
My daughter is playing on the floor, and she grabbed the camera rig and was pulling it. So
It started to go down.
wobbling. But what's not going down is Gronkowski playing for the Bucs this season.
Before yesterday, I was pretty confident actually that he was actually going to come back after all the mandatory workouts and whatnot, just because that was Gronk. And it takes him 8 games to get kind of into form, and then he starts being Gronk again.
He is a second half of the regular season and then a postseason player. In my opinion, if you asked him, if we interviewed him, which we probably will one day, and asked him the last 5 years of your career, if you could have not gone to a single workout, practice, or any sort of summer training or anything, would you have done it? And he'd probably be like, yes.
I'm not him, so I don't know what he would have said, but based off of his actions, I would.
Allen Iverson.
Practice?
He say practice.
What are you talking about?
Look at my
Practice,
performance
not the
in the game. I don't need to go to practice. I'm Rob Gronkowski. I approve this message. Yeah.
That's him. So I think that
I love this guy, man.
it would have been great to have him in the tight end room with young Cade Otton
That is a perspective.
as he's coming off of injury. It's just, no matter what you think of his work ethic, he's still a 5-time Pro Bowler and a 4-time All-Pro tight end.
Top 5 tight ends of all time, at least modern era.
Whenever you talk about Rob Gronkowski in the grand scheme of things, it's always next to Rob Gronkowski. Whenever you talk about him in the perspective of a tight end as a whole, he's always included in the same sentence as Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez, and no matter what Ryan's about to say, no, not Jason Witten.
I mean, look, I've surrendered my identity as a Cowboys fan.
Good. Let's not ever talk about it again.
Now, the Bucs have had some far worse years recently than the Cowboys have. But
yes, I lived my whole life as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. I'm aware.
I grew up a Cowboys fan, but I've officially decided to renounce my affiliation with the Cowboys.
You were affiliated?
Yeah, of course I was affiliated. I mean, a Texan. After the
I don't know
Oilers
if you
left.
know what the word affiliated means.
I mean, on their payroll. What do you want me to say? The point is I am no longer a Cowboys fan, meaning I don't have a skewed perspective of Jason Witten. I do think that he's in the top 5 or 10.
All right, bro.
Guys
we get
in
it.
the last
You love
10
the
years.
Cowboys, and nobody else does because.
Actually, they're America's team.
According to who?
According to the money that is affiliated.
Okay, they are worth $6.5 billion. Good job, Jerry Jones.
Well, I guess that is.
Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski were so impactful together that when they both said that they were coming to Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers became known as the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers in some circles.
What a name.
Right?
Let me ask you something, though.
Okay.
Can you think off the dome of a better quarterback tight end combo in all of history?
No.
Never, right? Now, quarterback receiver combo at Tom Brady and Gronk's at least
Joe Montana, Jerry Rice.
That's what I'm saying, but it's at least like top 5, even if you move it to just quarterback receiver category.
Probably. And
Their
Gronk
relationship
plays a lot of receiver. He didn't always play in tight on the line.
Right.
So I think that has to do with part of it. So
it would have been nice, though, to have him kind of to help groom some of these.
That's
Cade
the point
Otton
that I
being
was making.
I mean, it would have been nice to have him in there. We made that point with Brady staying for Trask. Remember we talked about that a couple months ago. It's good that he has another year to learn because he could become a franchise quarterback for the Bucs.
A lot of people, when they come in, if they have the opportunity to sit under somebody great like that and not immediately have to start playing like higher draft picks do, they become greater because of the experience and the knowledge of being able to sit under somebody like that.
And injury aversion, right?
We were able to see that where, like Gronk did have good stats over his 2 years, but you see the influence of when it counts, when the big game is on the line.
Yeah.
You see Gronk scoring 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl win over the Kansas City Chiefs. That's what Gronk adds to the team. He has the it factor.
It's like Palat.
He's an athletic specimen. He's the Palat of the NFL, almost in a sense, in the Tampa Bay terms. You could definitely say that. In his 2 seasons at Tampa, Gronk played in 28 games. He obviously battled some injuries last year. I think he broke his ribs, maybe, or something like that.
Jeez.
He had 100 catches on the nose on 166 targets, and he went for 1,425 yards and 13 touchdowns.
It's almost like a robot, like 100 on the dot, boom, got it.
He's very robotic.
All tight ends kind of are. I mean, it's a very, very like, it doesn't look as impressive as some diving 60-yard catch, like a wide receiver.
But Gronk made those.
Yeah, that's he's phenomenal. I like Gronkowski.
What do you think about this? What do you think about that he could come back again? Because the only reason why I say that is because his own agent told ESPN yesterday that he would not be surprised if Tom Brady calls him later on and says, "Hey, need you, bud. The playoffs are coming up soon. Need to come get ready."
So up until about 6 hours ago, I thought that there was a potential that this was, as Brady's retirement was, premature, and whether it was intentional or not, that in retirement he realized I can't keep going without football. I haven't reached that point. I'm willing to let it go yet. The thing that's different about this is that I don't know if you saw Tom Brady's post about Gronk.
I did.
So Tom Brady's not like a heart on my sleeve on social media guy all the time. And so Brady posts this very long, quite emotional post for Gronkowski.
You should go read his retirement post.
Well, yeah,
because the rest of it's, hey, look at my Brady brand underwear.
No, but Brady was genuinely retiring, and then he genuinely emotionally couldn't handle the loss of football after 6 weeks and had to come back. Gronkowski, I don't know if he is that kind of a guy, but the fact that Brady and a lot of players, but Brady specifically being his brother. I mean, if there ever was a closer relationship in football, you could say it. But I mean, these guys.
I mean, the Bucs did make a whole segment with them like dipping their toes in the water, making jokes together, and answering games on a whiteboard. I mean, because they're brothers.
They're literally brothers, and so I think that his retirement is genuine. Tom's comments is genuine. I think that if he came back, I would be open and not critical of him coming back, because I think it would be the same type of comeback like Brady had, which is emotionally I'm not ready to let football go. But it seems like Gronk has a lot going on in his life outside of football already, and has for the last couple of years. I don't think he's going to hit the unfulfillment that Brady hit.
Yeah, he's always doing things. He's a very successful businessman in all of his ventures. He is wilding out.
He's a party animal. Party. He's wilding out. So it's like, I don't think he's going to hit,
Week 12 comes around, and the Bucs are in the middle of grinding. And then Brady, he just doesn't have that. He doesn't feel like he has that go-to like he always has for 20 however many years, and says, hey, bud, what about one more? And
I was going to say one more.
And he comes back for the last 5 weeks. He has to get into shape, and then he's playoff Gronk.
Now, I don't know the rules as far as...
He's a free agent.
But so they could sign him the day before the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? Okay.
That happened with who with the Rams? What's his name? He played in the secondary. Weddle, maybe? I'm just going to throw out a name. Maybe Eric Weddle. But the safety, I think he was a white dude, number 20, maybe. But he had been retired, and then somebody went down for the Rams, and they called him, and he was like, yeah, I'll come play, and then played for the playoffs, won a Super Bowl, and said, deuces, I'm retired.
Is that across all sports you can do that?
You can sign whoever, yeah.
I didn't know, because
if there's a roster slot open, you can put whoever in there as long as they're not under contract.
There's a trade deadline. So I didn't know if there was a free agent signing deadline or something, because but you still have to fit it in the cap space.
Correct.
So you would have to. So are the Bucs going to leave open cap space?
The Bucs are ninjas. No, the Bucs are ninjas at manipulating the cap.
They'd be like, hey, you two, yeah, look,
they'll come in. Hey, we're going to give you a ring, a 1 year vet min salary, which whatever that is at the time. and then we'll give you a signing bonus of this, and then now you defer the other to the next years of the fake contract or whatever.
So a signing bonus is not under the cap?
I'm not gonna like, it depends, and like, I would hate to say, hey, click off our video and go watch somebody else, but the best breakdown was with a finance guy on the Pat McAfee show, going through the whole breakdown of how the cap and the deferments of the fake cap space goes. That's the best breakdown I've ever heard of it. It's pretty in-depth. It was like a 20-minute segment, and I just didn't retain everything to be able to give you the knowledge, but it's great. That's how they could bring Gronk back. So we'll miss you, Gronk.
I'm interested. We do love Gronk.
We appreciate you for what you did. He wrote in a college paper, I believe it was, that it was always his dream of coming and playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and didn't remember that till he played in Tampa. That's awesome. Maybe we'll see you week 12. Wink, wink. And we'll see you next time on the boat parade.
You know you can look me in the eye. It's all because of Jesus. He the reason I'm alive. I live by faith, by grace. You know that I ain't gotta strive. They told me tone it down. I told them